Everyone to more BallyDung Wrestling's WrestleWave, and here comes, I guess, Kenpo Kid 69. I guess he's returned to that old persona after attacking Ryback earlier tonight, and I can't believe this. Why would Kenpo turn his back on Claire after all that Claire basically helped Kenpo to do? She helped Kenpo's career, helped revive it after Kato left Kenpo to go to BallyDung, and it looks like Kenpo has taken the advice of the one to go back to the Kenpo Kid persona and dump the whole Kenpo Kitty persona, but Kenpo was doing good as Kenpo Kitty. He won the light heavyweight title. He was a tag team champion. He had multiple titles in BallyDung Wrestling, and now he's thrown it all away to align himself with one's ideas, and basically the one's probably really happy about Kenpo possibly joining that now defunct alliance, which I don't understand why Kenpo did such a thing, as here comes RubberBand Man. And RubberBand Man and Kenpo, they've had somewhat of a storied rivalry, and RubberBand Man wants to make a huge impression here on BallyDung Wrestling here tonight at WrestleWave, and what a big statement it would be if he can knock off the returning Kenpo Kid. But Kenpo, he left for a while, and then I don't know what went through his head after Santino beat him, but apparently Kenpo must have had some kind of an emotional breakdown of some sort and went back to being Kenpo Kid. But I don't know why he'd want to go back to a persona that he was a jobber under. And yeah, he did get lucky maybe a few times. He was once a BallyDung champion, but then his career went on a downward spiral, and he had to find out some different persona to get himself back into the mix of things, and that's when Kenpo Kitty was created. But now apparently he wants to go back to those days when he was Kenpo Kid, but I don't know for what reason. Apparently that new ring attire that he wore out here and that he's apparently wearing now is something that the one had made. I guess he looked at Kenpo's old attire from other companies and decided to have ring attire made for Kenpo to inspire him to become Kenpo Kid once again. And this is an Inferno match, so the loser of this match gets set on fire. That's how you win. No pinfalls, no submissions in this matchup. And RubberBand Man, he's kind of been somewhat of a jobber in BallyDung Wrestling, not been able to hold much gold, if any. And now Kenpo with the curtain call. So Kenpo using some of the same moves that he used as Kenpo Kitty, but apparently he's using this persona to, I guess, help the one and the defunct alliance. I don't know why he wouldn't want to join up with the power, though, and have all the power and authority. I mean, the one's the commissioner, but still, why would you want to join the alliance when you could be having the easygoing fame and fortune with Claire and the Cunnies and BallyDung and all of that? I mean, Kenpo's throwing all of that away for this Kenpo Kid persona, and it looks like he's doing a pretty good job right now. But I know that he was pissed off after losing to Santino, but he could have gotten a rematch with Santino. He could have gotten his revenge here at WrestleWave. He could have gotten a rematch if he had asked, but no, he wants to go to this Kenpo Kid persona that he thinks is going to help him rejuvenate his career once again. But I don't see it. I really don't think it can happen. But I guess Kenpo believes it's going to happen, so maybe he will find something deep down. But I really don't agree with this plan of his. And the curtain call yet again. But Kenpo, he would love to get a victory here, because then it would make all that stuff that he's been saying basically come to fruition. He would basically have a way to justify his argument for going back to being the Kid instead of being Kenpo Kitty, which I don't think that would be a good decision at all on his part, or anything for BallyDung Wrestling on that matter. But I guess Kenpo has to make his own choice. If he wants to backstab Claire and the group, then I guess he'll have to live with the consequences for that action, because you know what? Claire isn't very forgiving if you want to betray Claire, because then you got to earn Claire's trust back and all that other stuff. But Kenpo, I mean, Claire basically made Kenpo a star again. She got him back onto the top when it seemed like Kenpo had lost everything. And hell, Kenpo could have maybe rekindled things with Kato, but now that's probably out the window as he's gone back to the Kenpo Kid character, which I think that Kato actually got tired of because Kenpo was always focusing on himself. He wanted to promote himself over Kato. It looks like Kenpo was trying to go for something there, but the flames in the ring, around the ring, were just too high for him to even try to go up and punch away. And Kenpo just doesn't know where to turn in this kind of a matchup. But, I mean, this is a huge night. Who would have thought we'd see an Inferno match here? And who would have thought that Kenpo Kid would return on a night like this? And it looks like he's going to set up some shattered dreams here for RubberBand Man. This will not feel very good at all. He kicks him right in the family jewels. And RubberBand Man has got to be feeling the effects of that. As now Kenpo is trying to roll RubberBand Man. Remember, no pinfalls or submissions in this matchup, and definitely no countouts, but I don't see how anybody could get out of the ring with the flames surrounding the ringside area. But Kenpo basically trying to fight with all he's got. And this matchup, I mean, for Kenpo, I mean, if he doesn't win this, then what's going to happen? Is he going to lose faith in the Kenpo Kid character then? Is he going to try to become somebody completely different and try to branch out more? Or is he going to think that it was just a fluke again? But nonetheless, I mean, Santino got a fluke victory. But Kenpo has basically overreacted, I think, and decided that, you know, it's time to listen to the one. And the one's ideas is the one promised Kenpo, you know, better results if he went back to being Kenpo Kid. And we got rumors earlier that Kenpo was on his way to the arena with new ring gear. I guess that rumor turned out to be true, and I don't know why Kenpo thought it was a great idea to attack Ryback. That was probably a very, very bad decision on his part, as well, as he's probably going to pay somewhere down the line, and I know Claire is fuming right now with Kenpo's actions, and she said that there's going to be payback for Kenpo somewhere down the line, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that situation. But nonetheless, Kenpo, with a slap there. That's a little bit of the same maneuvers that he used to use, but Kenpo, maybe he's got to change up his wrestling style. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe his wrestling moves aren't up to par, as some people might say. Because, I mean, this RubberBand Man, though, I mean, he and Kenpo, they've had matches in the past, so Kenpo might be able to find some kind of weakness in RubberBand Man or find a way to pull off a victory. Of course, so much can happen in one matchup, but this Inferno match, though, I guess it's kind of good for, RubberBand Man and Kenpo on one part, because Kenpo won't have to worry about Ryback coming after him yet, at least not when the ring is surrounded by fire. But after the match might be a whole nother scenario. But, you know, Kenpo, if he's going to actually do this, he better watch his back, because Claire's got a lot of help in the back. She's got a lot of influence backstage with a lot of the competitors, so Kenpo better watch his back if he's going to go down this path, because, I mean, it could be a long, long road, and this could be a long, long night for Kenpo as well, as if Claire wanted to put a bounty on Kenpo, she probably easily couldn't. Looks like, RubberBand Man knocked out of the ring. Kenpo pulls off the big victory here over RubberBand Man in this Inferno match. And RubberBand Man, I mean, he kind of let us down. I mean, Claire thought that maybe RubberBand Man could teach a lesson to Kenpo here tonight, but nonetheless, Kenpo overcomes that matchup, and RubberBand Man is in pain as he was set on fire when he went through the ropes, and I guess they're going to try to put out RubberBand Man, trying to cool him off a little bit after losing this big matchup as Kenpo celebrates the big victory. And I guess we could say that in BallyDung Wrestling, the Kenpo Kid has returned. But how long will Kenpo last is now the big question. He picks up the victory, though, here at WrestleWave tonight. Welcome back to WrestleWave. Hell in a Cell. I guess that Hell in a Cell structure lowered from the ceiling, and I guess RubberBand Man is now facing Kami Kaminari here as a punishment for losing that Inferno match just a few moments ago to Kenpo Kid, and I guess Kami Kaminari has come back to inflict a lot of pain and punishment on RubberBand Man, and RubberBand Man trying to dance around, trying to show off here for the fans, but he better not take this match lightly, because Kami Kaminari, a spear right through that Hell in a Cell. Kami Kaminari is not the kind of guy you play around with in that ring. He is a very, very tough competitor. I've seen him take out many stars in other companies and try to inflict a lot of pain, and people say that after a match with Kami Kaminari, you are sometimes never the same. And Kami Kaminari is a former BallyDung champion, as some people may remember. He was the one that won the BallyDung championship, and the Mad Professor beat Kami Kaminari at a Summerfest to win that title. I believe that was last year's Summerfest, so many things happened last year at Summerfest. What's going to happen at this year's Summerfest? I guess only time will tell. And if there is a Summerfest, that is. There's so many questions, so many things up in the air right now. But Kami Kaminari is dominating the early goings of this matchup, as now he sets up RubberBand Man for something big. And RubberBand Man might be going for a last ride, and right down through that commentary table. The board of directors is probably not going to be happy with the cost of tables that they have to replace each time that a big matchup goes down. But Kami Kaminari, off the top rope, and Kami Kaminari is inflicting punishment, and now a cover, a kick out by RubberBand Man. But RubberBand Man, I mean, he really shouldn't have lost that matchup early, and he shouldn't be showboating here against Kami Kaminari. Kami Kaminari is a deadly competitor. He is a monster of sorts. And speaking of monsters, I think it was a great play by Claire to hire Gluttony to take out the One later on this evening, because now if the One is out of the equation, that means he can't get the title. He won't be in the title match if Gluttony takes him out like Gluttony claims he can do, and Gluttony is a monster. No doubt about it. And if he gets help from Dark Leader and others, just think of how unstoppable he could be then, as looks like RubberBand Man is just now going to be played around. I guess Kami Kaminari could play around with this matchup for now, because it'd be like a cat playing with its dinner. Because, I mean, Kami Kaminari, he's not taking this match lightly by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, he's just destroying. And, a spear right through that other side of that Hell in a Cell. Another piece of that cell has broken off. So Kami Kaminari is not taking any risks in this matchup. He wants to pull off the big victory. He wants to show that he means business. And now they can fight on the outside of this hellacious cell, but Kami Kaminari coming back like this, a big statement for him. And I mean, if he does a favor for Claire, just think of what his future could look like. I mean, he's helping Claire out now with this idea, showing RubberBand Man that, when you lose, there are consequences here at BallyDung Wrestling. And now Kami Kaminari, a powerbomb, and breaks through another part of that roof of that Hell in a Cell. So now the roof has been broken open, and RubberBand Man again takes another devastating fall. He was thrown off the top of the cell, sent through the roof of the cell twice, and I don't know how much more RubberBand Man's going to have left to compete. I mean, RubberBand Man's not moving now. He has been motionless since going through the roof of that cell. Kami Kaminari was looking for some kind of a weapon of some sort to maybe inflict a little bit more pain and punishment on RubberBand Man, but I guess he can't find anything. Or if he did, he's not pulling it out. And a leg drop there to RubberBand Man, and stomping away. I guess Kami Kaminari, if he can't find a weapon to use, he's now putting him in the torture rack. This is a very devastating hold, but Kami Kaminari releases him from it. And now Kami Kaminari, I guess he wasn't done yet. I guess Claire, right into that cell, the side of that cell. And RubberBand Man, though, I mean, he's got to realize that this is what happens when you don't do the job that you were set out to do. You get punished, and this is probably a very, very rough lesson for RubberBand Man to learn. But hopefully, maybe he'll learn his lesson sooner rather than later, as he's just getting a beat down here from Kami Kaminari, and RubberBand Man just looks to be in a lot of pain. Just, I don't know how much more he can stand. He was in another company before coming over here, but I don't know. This RubberBand Man, I mean, some might call him a jobber, some might call him enhancement talent, but he has not been doing very good in matches as of late. I mean, Claire making him pay for losing that match, because I think RubberBand Man, Claire thought that, with Kenpo being on the decline, RubberBand Man should have had easy pickings. He should have won that match easily and not lost in the fashion that he did. Claire thinks that perhaps RubberBand Man, dropped the match on purpose or took a dive. RubberBand Man looks like he might pull off the upset here on Kami Kaminari, though. I mean, Kenpo had a good matchup with RubberBand Man, but I don't think RubberBand Man... and RubberBand Man missed a big maneuver there. But, yeah, I mean, RubberBand Man, he could have won the match tonight, and he would have had to go through 2 matches in one night, but some of the other stars have had to do double duty tonight. But, they say it's tough love. Sometimes you got to teach a lesson to these competitors, and Claire's proving that, you don't cross her, or you don't lose matches when she doesn't want you to lose a matchup. RubberBand Man, though, I don't know if he's going to be able to continue on after a beatdown like this. I mean, what more is he going to have left in BallyDung Wrestling? And now Kami Kaminari sets him up for the torture rack yet again. And now RubberBand Man tapping out. And I think the referee is calling for the bell. This matchup is over. Kami Kaminari picks up the big victory here over RubberBand Man. And this wasn't even much of a contest. This matchup wasn't even in question for most of the night. RubberBand Man clearly was outmatched. Clearly was just basically overmatched. I mean, Kami Kaminari is now back on the winning track, and he would love to be back in contention someday for the BallyDung title, or maybe even the YouTube World Championship, or any number of titles. But Kami Kaminari certainly making a statement here tonight to BallyDung Wrestling, to the entire locker room, and certainly making a statement to RubberBand Man. Kami Kaminari deserves to celebrate this epic Hell in the Cell victory, and he deserves it. No doubt about that.